Hey guys, who remembers this piece here? This Cleveland Tunaram intake EFI setup to suit a 2V headed Clevo deal that I named the Alien intake. If you guys remember that segment I did, I wouldn't mind doing something with this piece, and I'm even really thinking about putting together a 2V headed combination again, just like my old days back in the 90s, but you know, obviously stepping it up a little bit compared to what I had back then. And what better than to use some of the stuff I have laying around. I've got a pair of closed chamber Aussie Cleveland 2V heads that I can, you know, send out and get on top of. I can make use of this thing, and I'm actually thinking about, you know, doing a bit of a stroker deal if I do get onto it, and doing an EFI setup. So I wouldn't mind, you know, using the stuff that I got here. And that's what I like doing. I like finding stuff that's already done, fabbed, that's already been working for someone else, and just putting my own twist to it instead of you know, doing everything from scratch again and things like that. I don't know what it is. I just like doing that. When I find something, I just like to revamp it a little, but you know, really like totally use what I have. And that's what I'm thinking about with this. I just don't know what to do. It's got this big plenum, then it's got the original plenum that's hacked there, the EFI bungs, and I really wouldn't mind that. Getting rid of that middle piece and just having that straight onto the intake itself. It's got a real cool look to it, but the problem is the EFI injectors with the rail, it might come crashing into the throttle bodies if I lower this thing down. So I really need to suss it out. But yeah, I'm really thinking of getting onto to restore this whole piece and finishing it off. I don't know, and I think it'll just rev me up to just keep going ahead with it and finishing off a nice street 2V headed combo again, you know, this time maybe being 380 Cuba, you know, being an EFI deal, and stuff like that will be a nice thing to see, you know, and see what kind of power it can make compared to back in the days, you know, where we used to make, I don't know, 450, you know, 450 to 480 horse, you know, if those 2V iron headed deals. It'll be nice to see what we can pull out nowadays. Check this out before I wrap this up. This is, we're going back about 15 years ago with this stuff here, small block Fords. That the motor in that is a naturally aspirated small block Ford built by my engine builder, BK Race Engines. And at one point, this car was the fastest, like a Pro Street style re-clipped car in Australia that was NA small block automatic backed, running 7.9s, naturally aspirated. It's basically full body with the rear clip, so you know, like a back half chassis, and it could have possibly even been the world. Yeah, so that's about 15 years ago. That thing was making like 1,050 NA back then. And that's Ben Gatz, you know, Wild Bunch door slammer type of car that he sort of kept small Cuba, 357 cubic inch, and only running a 1071, and he broke into the high sixes. It went a little bit better than that, and that's about 15 years ago also. So yeah, pretty badass small block Fords you're looking at there. Yeah, I wouldn't mind getting onto this piece, sort of like restoring it, you know, putting my twist to it, and, you know, just completing it and making it work. I like these little mini projects. I just can't be bothered these days with, you know, massive long-term type of, you know, projects. I like these little mods that I do here and there. But yeah, what I was trying to say is, I like that plenum that someone's already boxed up, fabbed and welded it up. But there's just that issue with, if I remove this, I'll just show you. This is a cool way where it'll look like that, you know. And it just reminds me of the Group A, the you know, the twin throttle body that the Holden Group A used to have, but you know, on a Ford deal. But the problem is, if you run injectors and the fuel rail, these things bump into it. Unless I make a little spacer there first and try and get this lifted. But there's all sorts of things you can do on this. And it's a rare intake, if you guys remember the old vids. That's a Kane tunnel ram by Kane for a 2V header deal. You can run this that someone's milled off. That's the original top to it. And I'm even considering, if I don't run that, I can hack out this middle bit, just leave all that open, make an adapter plate on top of that, maybe out of that same insulator plastic material, you know, that thick stuff. And I can maybe just run throttle bodies upright, you know, maybe 4 or 3. I reckon that'll be cool with a custom, you know, airbox element up there, like a filter. Have the fuel rail, have it all, you know, paint it up and stuff like that. And it'll probably just rev me up to, you know, chip away at a 2V Cleveland combination, as I mentioned. Look at that, 4V baby, badass. Yeah, let me know what you guys think, you know, if you reckon it'll be a cool thing to get on top of this. Put my little spin to it and finish that off. I think it'll be cool, you know, cool little segment to do.